Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Pacers Daily. I am your host, Hery Acosta. It's not looking good. The Pacers are now down 3-2, and what was back-to-back must-win games just took the foot off the gas, and just everything has just gone downhill. We don't know what we're doing right now. We're not playing like the Pacers that were here last three rounds, and the Thunder are just walking away with this at the moment. And it all just starts with just not controlling the ball. Pacers had 22 turnovers. Don't get me wrong, some of those were missed calls, but a lot of these turnovers were very basic, just awful passes. Most of them were by players like Nemhard. Siakam had a bunch of bad turnovers. We just can't afford to keep doing that. There was a really dumb turnover at the end of the first quarter where Tony Bradley decides to screen Hartenstein when Toppin had a wide open lane. There was no need for that. Um, I'll get to that whole rotation later. I don't really have it as a topic, but it is something I want to talk about. But Pacers are just not hitting. It seemed like a lot of people were double agents in this game. Sometimes it looked like Nemhard was trying to help out the Thunder more than he was actually trying to help out the Pacers. But it's just something that needs to be touched up. I mean, there's still two games left. I'm praying that the Pacers can take game six. It is on their home turf. But game seven is what's really kind of scary. It's going to be game seven in Oklahoma. We really just need to pick up the pace. Just need to play our game. It's just crazy because the Pacers haven't really played a good game all series, and they just keep on struggling. They have some decent games. Game one at the end was really good, and then game three was all around a decent effort. Like games two and four, they struggled, and game four they were in the game. They would have won, but then they just lost in the fourth quarter. Game five it was all over the place, but they really didn't lead at all in game five. So it's just something that they need to look at. Also, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if there's something in the water in Oklahoma that they specifically gave to the Pacers that have them just not shooting very well. They shot 33% from the first half. That is not the Pacers. They they need to just pay it up because they have yet to have a magnet ball game that they've had in every game, every series. They've had at least one magnet ball game, and they haven't even been close to one this series at all. In fact, they've been shooting horrendously from the 3-point line. Wasn't horrible in game five, but there's still a lot of room for improvement. But when two of your best players, when Matherin shoots 2 for 11 and when Halliburton doesn't even make a field goal, yeah, you're not going to win that game. No matter how good Siakam plays, no matter how decent Turner's playing, no matter that TJ McConnell had an insane third quarter and overall game. Once again, I'll get to TJ McConnell later because I should have put this as one of my topics, but I'm going to kind of tie it into the lost focus part here at the end because there were some things that were stressing me out about the rotations that I will talk about later. But the Pacers do need to shoot better. They just need to lock in. There's two games left. This is still a very winnable series, but it's not as confident as you would be after being up 2-1 and staying at home. Well, this is one of the main things that's going on. Halliburton did get hurt in that first half, but he started off slow. So it already looked like he was just not gonna have a good game. And that injury just should have kept him off the court. I'm not gonna lie. McConnell should have played most of the game. Halliburton played 34 minutes and scored 4 points. And they were all free throws. I don't know what you want me to say about this because you're the star player. Right now you have if the Pacers were to win this series, Halliburton wouldn't even be Finals MVP. There's no way because of this game specifically that he would be remotely close to Finals MVP. The only player that's even should even be in the running would be Siakam. Siakam's the only player that would be in the running for MVP for the Pacers. But I mean, a J-Dub 40 piece. Shea had 31. Wiggins was on fire again. Caruso was off, but his defense was insane. Lou Dort had a lot of fouls, but was still playing some very good defense on Halliburton. We just didn't know what to do. And now the fact that Halliburton's hurt and we're going back to Indy for game 6, how are we going to address this? Our all NBA player is injured in the finals. And we know he's been a little bit of injury prone over the last few years. He's had a few big injuries. But it's just a calf tightness is the injury that had him playing like Anthony Bennett. That is what we're dealing with right now. But now we're gonna kind of switch it up a little bit. Yes, there was absolutely no heart by the Pacers after they went on that run. They got it into 2 points, and then they just took their foot off the gas. But the worst part is the rotations that Rick Carlisle was using were some of the worst playoff rotations I've ever seen. About 4 or 5 minutes into the game, he put in his bench for the first time. Which Matherin and Toppin, sorry, my voice is all over the place. But Toppin and Matherin came in early. Matherin out the gate was awful. Toppin had a good game. Then McConnell comes in. Decent first half. Third quarter hits, McConnell is killing it. And then instead of Thomas Bryant being the backup center, which we know Thomas Bryant's a big body in the paint, and he can shoot threes, you put in Tony Bradley. Tony Bradley started out the season as a 10-day contract. And honestly, probably shouldn't have even made a roster spot over Jahlil Okafor. But I mean, Bradley had the same amount of points as Halliburton. But there's no reason Tony Bradley should be getting close to 20 minutes a game. He's a good player, don't get me wrong. But there's just no reason he should be on the court for 20 minutes. Especially when Turner has only played 24. Neesmith only played 24 minutes. Why is that a thing? Yes, he was in foul trouble, but that's still not an excuse to just keep him out of the game. You need him on the defensive end. Or else J-Dub's going to get 40 points like he did. And then the fourth quarter rotation was awful. Nembhard was playing horrible. Why is he playing the whole fourth quarter? He played more minutes than anyone. Why is McConnell not playing until the last 3 minutes of the fourth? Why is Halliburton playing the whole fourth when he's having his worst game of the playoffs? Probably like his 4th game of the season. Toppin should have gotten more minutes in the fourth. So also, why did we throw in the towel with 2 minutes to go? You know what this team is capable of. And you put in Johnny. What? Don't get me wrong, I love Johnny Furphy, but you put in Johnny Furphy with 2 minutes to go. You threw in the towel in Game 5 of the finals. Why is that? 48-minute game. You're down 11. You can come back from that. You've done it before. There just needs to be a lot of thinking and a lot of stuff that goes into this. But as always, I'm Hery Acosta. This is Pacers Daily. You know, I always say, boom, baby. Go Pacers. Let's take Game 6.